Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to explain you how this software, which is WOMS Work Order Monitoring System that we created for AR landing gears, works. So this is the welcome screen where we do the registration or login as a regular employee or administrator or executive manager. So let me type my email address to log into the system. So this is my email address and my password. So as you know, each employee who uses this program is going to have his or her own email and password address to log into the system. So right now, I'm logging in as an administrator. So this is the first screen that we are now facing. On the right top, it says, Welcome Bishra Kelesh, which is my name, by the way, and there's a log off button right next to it. It's just you need to click on this button whenever you log off from the system. And on the left side, it says WOMS. It's a title of the software Work Order Monitoring System. So let me start explaining what we have here. On the left side, we have a list of work orders that are currently being processed in the facility. So we have, for example, Boeing 727, Boeing 757, and Airbus A300, and so on and so forth. As you see, those are in different colors. Right now we have a green color and a yellow color. We don't have any red color work order right now, but we could have. So if the work order is in green color, it means that it's not overdue. But if it is yellow color, it means that it's not overdue, but the probability of being late, being overdue, is really high. But if it is a red color, in this case we don't have any, it means that the work order is already behind the schedule. And we have also those little colorful boxes on the right top side. So if it is red, it means that there are some tasks in this work order that are already behind the schedule. If it is green, and there's a green little color box here, we don't see it because it has the same color of the landing gear. So if it is green, in this case, this is green, it means that everything is going well according to the schedule. And if it is yellow, let me see, do we have any? Yes. If it is yellow, it means that, again, there are some tasks that are not behind the schedule, but they are so close to late. So we should be careful about those tasks as well. So we have those work orders right now in the facility. What we can do, we can just filter them by the due date by just click on this button. So let's select April 12 to April 20 and filter the due dates. So it gives me the list of work orders whose due dates are fallen into two dates that I just selected. So let me reset and turn back to the beginning. So we have those for the work orders. And under of the work orders, we have 4 buttons, which are alerts, tasks, status, and control panel. By the default, alerts is always selected when you first log into the system. It is the same as for the first work order in the list. So those are the things that already been selected when you first log into the system by the default. So let's select the second work order, which is Boeing 757. And we don't have to click on it, it's already selected, but if we click on it, we will see the alerts on the middle side. So as you see, there are so many alerts here. It's because we have a red box here. It means that there are some tasks that are behind the schedule. So it reminds me those tasks in this alert session. So let's click on any of these. Let's click on this one. So it says that this is a reminder of task P9, which is to confirm that all listed parts are in stock and have been pulled. This task is owned by the Aitman Aaron and is overdue since April 3rd. So we have those alerts right now for this particular work order. So if we select the tasks here, we will see the list of tasks of this particular work order that we selected on the left side. So as you see, we have so many default tasks here, and almost all of it are completed. I know that it's completed because they have a black color box here. So let's click on this one and then see what happens. So I just click on it and then I see the detailed description on the right side. So it says that the owner is Eric Butler and he is responsible of performing the receiving inspection. So he already completed his tasks, but under the updates, we will see what happened so far for this particular task. So task is initiated on this date, and task is acknowledged by the Eric Butler, and then he puts an updates here. Everything looks fine, and he completed his task on this date. So let me show you, do we have any uncompleted task here. Let's try to select this particular work order. So again, I just click on it and the task is already selected. So I see the list of tasks on the middle. So the first two tasks, as you see, that are completed. And I see that there is one task here which has a gray color. Means that this task is hold on for some reasons. So I just click on it and I see that the description on the right side. So the owner is Adrian Ruffner and he is responsible of creating work order ID and he's working for customer services. So he put some updates here and I see that the task initiated for him on this date, April 4th, and then he acknowledged it and on the next day, and then he put a hold on and gave some explanation for it. So he put waiting for reassignment. So I see that I'm an administrator. I see that he's waiting for reassignment of this task. And if I know Adrian is a very busy guy lately and then he has so many tasks to do, so I can basically hold on these tasks. As you see, I just click on this one and I remove the hold button. And then as you see, here it says that hold is removed by me from engineering department. So what we can do, we can reassign this task because he is waiting for reassignment from Adrian to another guy in the customer services. So let's select customer services here and then let's select wait cool. So let's click on this reassign button. So the owner of this task is wait cool. It's not Adrian Ruffner anymore. So he's right now he's responsible of creating work order ID. And as you notice, whenever I remove the hold, I see that the color of this box changed from black to red. So it means that this work task is already behind the schedule because it has a red box color. So, and I see here, I see that the work is initiated on April 4th and due date is today. So he needs to be hurried to finish this job, and because it's already behind the schedule. So what we can do is we have as you see, there's another task owned by the Bill Gates from engineering department, and as you notice, it has a yellow color. It is so close to late. So, and I see that here he hasn't acknowledged it yet. So I can basically put an update here to Bill Gates to read it. So let's write, please acknowledge your task as soon as possible. So I put this update here, and if Bill Gates, let me see. So let's log in as a Bill Gates and to see that this task update here and acknowledge his task. So this task is owned by Boeing 727 Bill Gates. So let's log off and log into as a Bill Gates. From now on, I am Bill Gates. So Boeing 727 and tasks. So um, I don't remember which was the, okay, here. So I see that here. I click on this work order, and I see that under my tasks, I see that my administrator Bushra put an update here. She said, please acknowledge your task as soon as possible. So I am right now click on the acknowledge, and then I just acknowledge my task, and my due date is tomorrow. Probably it takes more than, so for this particular case, maybe the task takes more than 1 day, and that's why the due date is although the due date is tomorrow, I have a yellow color here. So if I comfortable of doing my job, and I feel that I did my job, and then I just click on the task complete, and I say okay, and right now the task is completed by me, Bill Gates. So it turned to black color here. So let's log off and log in as a not Bill Gates anymore. So we have those functions that we can do under the task. What we can do is we can also create a new task. So let's create a new task for, again, this particular Boeing 777-200. So let's create a new task, manual task. So whenever I click on it, I see the list of things that I need to fill. So I need to give them a give a name to the manual task. So I select the first one, M0, and I wanted to assign a manual task to shipping department, and the owner will be the Dwayne Johnson. So the task title is approve the shipping file. So the task duration is takes like 1 day, and then since it's the task is initiated by the shipping department, it doesn't have to be so. I mean, it needs to be closest to the work order due date. So we can just say 1 day before the due date. So let's create this task for Dwayne Johnson. So this task right now is created by Dwayne Johnson. I'm sorry, created by me for Dwayne Johnson. So under the tasks list, I see that here is my task that I just created. So the owner is Dwayne Johnson, and the task description is approve the shipping files. So task is initiated on right now, just a few seconds ago. So we can cancel this task, again add an update, put an attachment file, and reassign this task from Dwayne Johnson to another guy in the shipping department, and we can acknowledge it with Dwayne right now. He needs to acknowledge his task, and so on and so forth. So those are the things that we can do under the tasks button. So if we click on the status button, we will see that the list of work orders and on the chart. So if we wanted to see the load chart of the work orders, let's select Boeing 77 and 717 and Boeing 707. So let's click on load chart and then see what happens here. So it gives me a whole chart, and let me explain what it means. So I see that there are 10 tasks here that are already acknowledged out of 50, and those are in progress. So 43 tasks that are being a work in process, not acknowledged yet. So this is something serious where we can warn our customers, the employees, to acknowledge their task. So we have, as you see, we have 3 tasks that are in yellow color, It means that that are not behind the schedule, but it could be in the future. And we have one task, it's already late, and we have no task which is hold, and we have 9 completed tasks. So if I wanted to click almost those guys, so I see that here there is one task which is hold on. So those are the things that we can do in the chart menu, but we can also filter them. So let's select those work orders and click on the department. Right now we are seeing a chart. It says that the performance of the each department. So I select those work orders and I see the name of those work orders on the left side, and we have a list of all departments on the right, on the top, and I see here, okay, everything is going well for these work orders in the engineering department, but Boeing 707, and the engineering department is not it's almost overdue. So, and also I can see that for this particular work order, the management department is already behind the schedule, which has a red color. So those are the things that we can see in the chart menu. So let's click on the last button here. It's control panel. So what we can do here, we can, since we are an administrator, we can create a default tasks. So create a new default task, create a new user, create a new department. We can do all those things in this section. So I just click on default task and list. So as you see right now, we are seeing the all default tasks in this department. I'm sorry, in this software. So there's this code of the task, and description and trigger if there is, and the owner and the duration and backtrack. And let's click on users. We see that they're all users in the system. Let's, for example, we have Benjamin Francis from management department. He's a manager of the management department, by the way. And we have Bill Gates. He's from engineering department. He's just a regular user, regular engineer, and so on and so forth. So if we click on the department, we will see the list of the departments here. And then what we can do, by clicking on the system testing, we can create a new test work order, and we can see the old existing test orders in the software. So we have those work orders right now. What we can do in this session, we can change their due date. So for example, let's change once. So I see that the Boeing 757 is already behind the schedule. So let's change its due date from April 25th to May 1st, and then click on this button. So work order due date is updated successfully, but we need to synchronize it. So I click on the synchronize button, and then I click on the work order due dates, and it's going to be updated. Update all the due dates, all the tasks, all the due dates of the tasks of that particular work order that I just changed its due date. So let's go and see that. It's again, even although I put May 1st, it's again, it's not, it's already, again, it's behind the schedule. We need to make it little further, let's say June or so something. So what we can do, we will change the due dates of the work orders here, and then we can decide the work order status threshold here. In this case, it's 10 days, but it could be a different number. It's depending on how the system works. And then under the synchronize button, we have we can synchronize the work orders. If we change the due dates of the work orders, the duration of the tasks, the due dates of the work orders, if we change the escalation level, so we whenever we do changes about those things, we need to synchronize the system by click on these buttons here. And at the last, we have an information button here. If I click on it, I see a brief description of myself. And my name is Bushra Kerej, my email, and then I'm from engineering department. My manager is George Witkowski, and my role is administrator. I can assign a new password here and then change my password here. So those are the things that we can do in this software. But I just realized that I forgot something to tell you. So let's click on this work order and then tasks. So what we can do else, we can filter those tasks depending on the department level, depending on the status, and depending on the my task. Since I'm a now administrator, I can see the all tasks. But let's say that if I'm a manager of the engineering department, and I can only, by selecting on this, I should be able to see only my tasks under this tab. So let's select, for example, I just wanted to see the customer services here, and then it gives me the whole tasks of customer services. And let's click on show me the late tasks. So there is no late task. Nope, it's supposed to be have. So initiated, in progress. Let's see. So those are the initiated task, in progress task. I'm sorry. So there is no late task here, but we should have it. Let me see. Oh, there is no. So there is no tasks that are late. So what we can also filter those tasks under this button here. So that's all. Thanks for listening to me. Now I'm just logging in off by click on this. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the video.